If you are considering buying a home in 2023, you have plenty of questions to decide whether or not this is the right time for you. During this episode, I'm going to answer some of the most common questions that potential home buyers are asking. Welcome to Real Estate Simplified.
The mission of this journey is to help people that are considering a move to the real estate industry, have been doing this for a short period of time, or who simply want to know more about real estate and the behind the scenes ins and outs of the highs and sometimes lows of this industry. Welcome to Real Estate Simplified.
As always, like this episode and subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss any new content. Also, please leave a comment about what content should be next for the channel. So here's the thing. Low housing inventory has not only been a challenge for the last couple of years, but really for the last decade plus. It hasn't fully recovered since the 2008 housing crash when the construction of new homes plummeted. That news really hasn't changed as we are approaching Q2 in 2023. Housing supply remaining stuck at near historic lows has propped up demand compared to other downturns, and consequently sustaining higher home prices. Inventory is currently at a 2.9 month supply according to National Association of Realtors. And this figure really hasn't changed since December when that was at 1.6 months. In the North Dallas area, that number is slightly better, but really not by much. So based on this and other data, industry experts have a not so positive outlook on when inventory will eventually normalize. The bottom line is that there really isn't a likely scenario that leads to inventory levels approaching historically normal numbers in 2023, which means that prospective home buyers are still going to have their work cut out for them. But people still need a place to live, and some of us are tired of renting. Of all the questions potential home buyers are asking these days, I have the top 3 most common questions that are consistently asked, and my answers to each one. So the number 1 most common question right now is, will the housing market crash? Well, based on the ongoing inventory problem keeping home prices elevated, many economists predict the housing market is more likely to correct itself from the double-digit percentage jump seen in prices the past few years rather than a plummet or a crash. Home prices will be steady in most parts of the country with a minor change in the national median home price. However, some housing market watchers believe that homes in some areas could see sales and price growth, particularly in locations where home prices have remained affordable over the past few years in relation to median income. Experts are also estimating about a 5% drop in home price nationally, while some markets will probably continue to see prices increase. I'm looking at that in the North Dallas area. So today, homeowners stand on much more secure footing than those coming out of the 2008 financial crisis, with a high number of borrowers having positive equity in their homes. Consequently, the likelihood of a housing market crash is low. Second question, will foreclosures increase in 2023? Even with the steady rise in foreclosures that resulted after the expiration of the COVID-19 foreclosure moratorium in September of 2021, foreclosures remain below pre-pandemic levels. In 2022, foreclosures were down 34% compared to 2019. Now, a key difference now compared to 2008 housing crisis is that many homeowners, and even those struggling to make payments, like I mentioned before, have a large boost to their home values in recent years. That means they still have equity in their homes and are not underwater. So, worst case scenario for those homeowners, they can simply refinance and pull cash out of their home to make ends meet. Question number 3 is, when should I buy a home in 2023? Buying a house in any market is a highly personal decision. because homes represent the largest single purchase most people will make in their lifetime. It's crucial to be in a solid financial position before diving in. Use a mortgage calculator to estimate your monthly housing costs based on your down payment and what you think your interest rate is going to be. Trying to predict what might happen this year is not the best home buying strategy. Buyers sitting on the sideline today in anticipation of lower prices tomorrow may end up disappointed. Instead of waiting for much lower prices, experts and myself are suggesting to buy a home based on your budget and needs. If you find a home you love in an area you love and it also fits your budget, then chances are it might be right for you. However, if you make too many sacrifices just to get a house, you may end up with buyer's remorse, potentially forfeiting you to offload the house. So here are some added tips for buying in today's housing market. Start with a budget and stick with it. That means working with a lender to get pre-approved. Even with a slight uptick in the number of homes for sale, buyers are still facing elevated or at the best, slightly lower prices compared to last few months. Get an idea of how much you can afford, and if that fits within your budget, go for it. Now, while buyers are getting a bit more breathing room now, they should keep in mind that it's still a seller's market while they consider their options. And lastly, tips for the sellers out there in today's housing market. The first step for a successful sale is to find a listing agent who knows the area and comes highly recommended. A good agent will work closely with you to price your home competitively. Even though the market may still be tipped in the seller's favor, it is in your best interest to present your home in the best possible light. Not everyone has cash dedicated to renovations and repairs, but a little sweat equity can go a long way. The first step is to declutter, organize, and clean. Simple enough. Even if your home is outdated, a clean space gives buyers a chance to envision the house's potential. And I always recommend getting a licensed inspector to conduct a pre-listing inspection to ensure none of the big ticket items like roof, foundation, AC unit, or water heater are going to sneak up on you. That's all I have for this episode. Check in again soon for new content, and be sure to like and subscribe if you find this information valuable. I'll talk to you again real soon.